to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor.
Hello, everyone. I'm Owen Hayes. You're watching Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented to you by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor. A number of reasons to head over there going into this upcoming beautiful week that we've got for this upcoming week. And I'm looking forward to it, except for it sounds like it might be a little warm, but we'll find out from Peyton Major in just a little bit on what that weather forecast is truly going to be. But it is Memorial Day weekend. I hope everybody's got some fun plans for today, maybe tomorrow. I know that I'm going to have some family over today. We're going to do some steaks later on and some salmon. Spring Chinook, by the way. Thank you very much. But today, we're very, very busy, but we'd love to get a phone call or two in early if we can. It's called the North American Metals Hotline. It's right down here. Right there. 503-548-6777. Questions, comments, reports. Jump in now. I'd love to hear what you might have to say. Well, most of the time. But we'd love to hear any reports that you might have to share with others so they can get out and maybe have a little bit of fun. If you're trout fishing, if you're chasing some summer steelhead, which is going to start getting a little bit more interesting, or maybe you just want to share some info on where you might be getting lucky chasing some springers around, because there's no end to the options to try to catch yourself a springer right now, let alone be close to home, but along the coast. And of course, now some of the tributaries are certainly in the fold on that. I'll leave that to you to kind of figure all that out, unless you called and asked a specific question. Anyway, first guest in the studio today is Nick Saba. We had Nick in here last year talking about the Dirty Derby. Well, this year it's bigger, better, more really cool prizes, several more places that you can log in or check in your fish. I couldn't figure out the right word to use there. But things have gotten much larger for the Dirty Derby, let alone if the Columbia is open, you can still enter fishing from that as well. So things have changed a little bit for the Dirty Derby. And when Nick comes in, we've got a number of things to go over. Hopefully, we've got enough time to get that information out when we get him in here in just a little bit. But the Dirty Derby is back, so make sure you pay attention to that. And Fisherman's is right in the mix of that as well. But we'll cover more of that in just a little bit. Mark Bush is the owner of Twisted Waters Guide Service. We're going to talk about what I find very cool, because I actually had a chance to meet Walleye Willie a couple of times over the years. It's a 2025 Memorial Benefit Tournament that's coming up over on the east side of the state, chasing, I shouldn't even say that, more central, on the Columbia, chasing walleye. This is a really cool benefit tournament. Walleye Willie was a legend when you're talking about chasing walleye, obviously, hence the name. Super nice guy. The two opportunities that I had the chance to talk with him, conveniently enough, chasing walleye in an area that I had no idea what I was doing. And it turned out I was doing things wrong, and he made sure to let me know. But after that, we got along very, very well. But no, it'll be a really cool opportunity to meet Mark for the first time here on the air, and maybe even utilize him in the future as a source for some on-water live reports chasing walleye, because we would always love to have more good info for everyone. Then we have your Chevy Silverado Tech Tip of the Week. And this one I thought was interesting. I've literally done thousands of these over the years. But this question I don't think I'd ever gotten. Daniel, and I believe this was emailed into us, I'm not sure. Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong there. Is buying a new boat, and other than safety gear and the obvious things that you have to have, like life jackets, horn, throwables, all that kind of stuff, his question was, what are the 10 things that I need to have in my boat? And that was, I thought, a very good question. And sitting down yesterday to try to come up with that list of 10, I literally could have kept going and going and going and going. But I stopped at 10, and I have one bonus one in there for Daniel. So I thought that was a really good question for the Tech Tip. So we're going to have that in that Chevy Silverado Tech Tip of the Week here in just a little while. And for those that are chasing pike minnow, number one, why wasn't there anybody at Chinook Landing this week? I'm curious. I just didn't notice them counting them there. But at the very least, we're going to have your numbers for that program. If you're participating in that, like I always say, thank you, because salmon and steelhead truly appreciate that, helping them get out into the saltwater. And it looks like we have a live report coming in, so we're going to get that here in just a second when I get done rambling. Let's go ahead, though. In our upcoming segment, though, we're going to, of course, have all of our typical information, but let's jump into some of the photos that you've all been sending in, and there's been no shortage of them. Literally, Ryan's like, dude, we got to get as many of these things in because we've got dozens and dozens of them. So pay attention. If you sent them in the last couple of weeks, you might be seeing yourself this morning or maybe even next weekend. Amber's first big one. That's a steelhead, everyone. And I love the hat, by the way. That's an edge hat. Another steelhead. Best of 2024. Jeremy, nice fish, by the way. And there's going to be some more of those summer steelhead reports coming in. I'm looking forward to that myself. Captain Thunder, Steve, a.k.a. Waspy. Okay, we got a lot of nicknames going on here on just one photo. Nice fish there, sir. Thank you for sending that in. It's easy to do. We'll show you exactly how to do it. Another springer. And, yeah, that's not done by any means. We got a lot of those still coming. Daniel and Gordon, they uploaded that to the Fox 12 app. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. And a CCA member right there as well. Thank you, sir, for helping out. Look at that one up at the falls at Oregon City. Nice spring Chinook. Evening bite. That's one thing I have not gotten out yet to do this year is that late evening bite, which has always been one of my favorite. Great photo, too. And then this one, look at that. Oh, a whole pile of tacos. How many tacos? Well, let's go. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 100. Plenty of tacos there. Debbie, thanks for sending that in. That's going to be on the menu here for me as well in the next couple of weeks as things start to warm up on the Willamette and other systems. Lucky day on the Willamette. Yeah, it was. Looks like a hogline opportunity. Now, is that a limit for him, for Steve? Could very well be. A couple of nice fish. Anchor fishing. Nick, you like anchor fishing, don't you? Inside thing. Prior to the show, we were talking. Persistence Pays. Chance sent this in. I like that name. Nice. 3 springers there. At some point in time, I know we're going to have that 25-pounder show up. I know somebody sent that photo in. It's got to be in our system somewhere. Troy Oakes sent this photo in. Now, see, I love these kind of photos here. Everybody smiling, and just a good picture. I would have got the nose in there a little bit more if you're trying to be picky. Not that I'm picky. But it's easy to do. We're going to get to that in a second and show you how to do it. Wyatt from Drano Lake, playing in the toilet bowl. More power to you. For all of you that do that. Good for you. From Drano Lake can be very interesting. It's the Fox 12 app. It's free. It's easy. Once you download it, you can follow along with Outdoor GPS and, of course, upload your photos and videos that we love to show off every Saturday and Sunday morning. Don't forget, though, if you want to have a chance to win an Abby's Pizza, go to gps@abbys.com. You need to enter in each week, and you'll have a chance to win a giant pizza and get yourself some spuds. I don't eat a lot of carbs. I'll be honest here. I'm an old fat guy, but the spuds are hard to argue with. Now, let's go ahead and check in with Peyton Major and find out what this weather is going to do. And the 90s are still in this forecast. Yesterday, nope, okay. So, all right, we're going to go to Mark with a live report. Live TV, everyone, just bear with us. Live report from Crescent Lake. Mark, usually you're out there on the Columbia, aren't you?
Yes, sir, but every year on the World Day weekend, we come down here for a big fishing trip. So here we are.
How's it going?
It's going a little slow today. We had a pretty good day yesterday. We had 12 kokanee and 1 mackinaw. Today we only have a couple kokanee. We're having a hard time finding them this morning, so we're just covering ground, and we got a couple in the boat. We just landed one. The nice thing is they're, I would say, averaging 15 inches.
Wow. For kokanee?
And we caught for kokanee. And some of them we caught yesterday are a couple pounds, I'm going to guess. They're big kokanee this year.
Yeah, that's good to hear. It just gives you more deliciousness when you put it on the barbecue or on the plate, of course. How's the crowd? How's the crowd, Mark? Is there a lot of people out fishing, or is it kind of quiet?
Yesterday it was pretty busy. Today, I think there's only 5 boats on the lake that we've seen.
Oh.
It's a big lake, though. So there could be some people on the very far end down by Cantina Point, but I think there's only about 5 or 6 boats around us. Everybody's pretty much kokanee fishing. So we have 2 kokanee poles and 2 mac poles out this morning.
Okay. Well, how are you fishing for your Mackinac crescent, if you don't mind me asking? You don't have to be specific or anything, but are you running plugs, bait, both? How are you actually going after them?
So we're using downriggers for the Mackinac. I'm using a lake troll. I think they call them a beer can flasher.
Okay.
With a K15. I do tip it with a worm and a little bit of procured juice.
A K15, everyone. That's how big some of those Macs can be. That's a big plug. Yeah. It takes usually a big fish to eat it. That's interesting. Mark, thanks for the heads up on Crescent Lake. We appreciate it, man. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend.
We sure will. Thanks for talking to me, Colin. Have a great weekend.
You too, sir. Thanks for sharing the live report from there. We appreciate that as always. Can we take Fred's call, or should we hold on to that? All right. He's got something. All I see here is duck, right? Ryan writes it up on the line. And it's a question, yeah. Okay? But I see the word duck, and I'm sorry, everything's going to pause. Fred is from Vancouver. He's got a question about hatching. That's a good one. Fred, what's going on?
Yeah, I just wondering if ducks can have 2 clutches of eggs and, hatch them out and raise them, then have another one in one summer breeding season.
Absolutely. They'll actually sometimes have up to 3 clutches, depending on the conditions, what happened early on, say in late March, early April, when they really start breeding heavily. If water comes up and they may lose a clutch of eggs because they get swamped, that happens a lot depending on where they actually nest, right? Or if the nests are raided by either predators or, well, of course, I guess predators. But yes, sometimes up to 3. But yes, 2 for sure. And every year, as a crazed duck hunter, I'm dancing around on 1 foot hoping for 2 or 3 out of all of them, especially out of the boreal, because that's where the vast majority of our ducks in our side of the Pacific Flyway come from. And right now, for those that are like me, that think about duck hunting literally every day, it's very wet up in the boreal. There is no drought as of yet, and they're not forecasting one, but they didn't forecast one last year either, and they ran into a drought that kind of slowed the production down. So hopefully that's not the case this year. But Mark, I hope that, or excuse me, Fred, I hope that answers your question, sir. Thanks for calling and interacting with the show. We appreciate that. Okay, let's go ahead and cut to a break. When we come back, we're going to have our field report. We're going to kind of get through it quickly. I want to save a little bit of time for Nick Sabo with the Dirty Derby to find out how you can participate in that as well this year. But we're going to get that regular info out so that you know what's going on real time before you go into this upcoming week with some beautiful weather, I think. We'll be right back.